this lesson, 10.4, we are going to learn about zero and negative exponents. In example 1, for zero exponents, all non-zero number with a base of, for example, a to the 0 power is equal to 1. The power of 0 base to the 0 power is undefined. So that is the only one that does not work when the base is 0. But other than that, any base to the 0 power will always equal to 1. So in our case, 4 to the 0 power is equal to 1. A to the 0 power is equal to 1. We can even have 1 million to the 0 power, and that will also equal to 1. So any base to the 0 power is equal to 1 except for the base of 0. 0 to the 0 power is undefined. In example 2, negative exponents. For any integer n and any non-zero number a to the negative n power is the reciprocal of a to the n. So when we have an example like the number of the base 4 to the negative 2 power, we do not want negative on the exponent. So we have to do the reciprocal. So when we put that into reciprocal, it will be 1 over 4 to now the positive 2 instead of a negative 2. And then we would evaluate that out, just like the previous one on the exponents. So base 4 to the second power is the same as 4 times 4, which then equals to 1 over 16 as our final answer right there. Now with the algebra example, same thing, we don't want a negative on the exponent, so we would have to do a reciprocal of that, so it would become 1 over, and the base is still a, exponent now becomes a positive n as our answer. In example 3, we're going to go ahead and evaluate this. So always look for your base to make sure that it is the same. If the bases are the same, then we can go ahead and work on the operation. In this case, our base is negative 8.5. Both are 8.5. And we have learned in the previous lesson for the power product property that if we have a multiplication, we're going to go ahead and add our exponent. So it becomes a negative 4 plus a positive 4. And negative 4 plus 4 will give us a 0. So negative 8.5 to the 0 power is equal to 1. Let's look at example 4. We're going to go ahead and simplify this. It is 3 to the negative 4th power. We don't want a negative 4 on the exponent, so we're going to go ahead and change that into a positive 4 by creating a reciprocal on that 3 power of positive 4. And if we simplify that, that will become then 1 over 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which then gives us a 9 times 9. And so our final answer becomes 1 over 81. Example 5, we're going to go ahead and simplify this. So as we had learned in the quotient of powers property, if I have the same bases, then we're going to go ahead and do 2, and then the exponent becomes a minus, so that becomes 6 minus 8. And 6 minus 8 will give us an exponent of negative 2. And this is where we apply our lesson for this round, which says that we do not want a negative on the exponent. So we're going to go ahead and make it into a positive exponent by doing the reciprocal. And so we're going to have this 1 over 2 to the second power, which then equals to 1 over 4 as our final answer.